Welcome back, everyone. IPL4 qualifiers. We're at the round of 16. We're going to be going into Game 3 of Fnatic versus TCM in just a moment. I'm Hat Person. With me is the Red Baron. And we have a tournament update for you guys, too. So if you don't want to be spoiled, just go ahead and mute us for a minute. So also in the round of 16, we had Cypher versus V8.
Yeah, and V8 was actually able to pick up the win 2-0.
2-0.
Pretty quickly, actually. So excellent job by them. We had seen Cypher the other day. We watched Cypher versus V-Horse, and they were just absolutely dominant against V-Horse, or Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
They had a very aggressive early game team, lots of counter jungling. They were actually running that Shyvana kind of tanky comp along with the Sivir.
Yeah.
So the tanks with the AoE damage from Sivir. But V8, a big American team that they've kind of been moving in and out of that kind of top tier of competitive play. So we'll see whether or not this can be kind of their breakout. I was talking with Muffin Cutie. He is from Vegas. And for those of you who don't know, IPL4, it is actually going to be in Vegas. We haven't announced the actual venue yet, but will be announced this week. But, so it'll be interesting to see whether or not, it'd be funny as like the hometown favorite. But,
but yeah, dude, Cypher was the 5th seed in our tournament. V8 was the 12th seed. And for V8 to win 2-0 outright, it's a huge upset.
Yeah.
So
they definitely have a really strong team though, and have proved it for a while. They've beaten top teams like CLG and TSM. I think they did pretty well in IEM New York.
Yep. And then also V8 was also at IPL3 as well. So there's nothing to shake a stick at, man. These guys.
Yeah,
I'm
Muffin
excited.
Cutie was telling me don't say my personal stuff on stream. People are gonna bomb my house. So
don't worry, dude. We'll get your address. We'll send it out to everybody. We'll tweet it out. It'll be cool. We'll have a party.
Yeah.
But for now, we got Fnatic TCM Game 3. We have another potential upset here. This could be huge. This could be absolutely huge. And right now TCM has first ban, first pick. Karthus going out first.
Yeah, it's we'll probably see standard bans as before. I don't think Morgana will be banned, though. TCM, let me see. TCM will have first pick, so Fnatic might ban Morgana to not allow them to have it because it is a very safe lane. I guess it'll have to kind of depend. It'll probably be like their last ban to kind of see how the bans are going. We do have Galio banned right away, who was just absolutely dominant in game number 1. So Fnatic actually might choose to ban out Morgana. And also, there's the Riven in that top lane. I was kind of surprised by how effective Riven was against Yorick, but went like 3-0 against Yorick in lane against XPK.
Yep.
So
by the end of the game, at a 4-level advantage, it was huge. But I'm expecting a Riven ban from Fnatic, because Sona has usually been their go-to ban outside of Talon. So we may see that here in a second. Rise being banned out. So Sona is open.
Well, they're actually going to pick up the Morgana that was really strong that last game. Did provide them great fight control. I mean, Morgana can just control any fight. And now Sona, that works out perfectly for Fnatic because definitely a much more aggressive laner than Nunu. Sona's practically the strongest laner in the game in this patch still, as far as supports are concerned. Unless you're going for like a double bruiser comp or something like that.
Yep, so
but that harass will definitely help them out bot lane.
Yep, we are on a Sejuani patch, so Sona nerfs have not gone through yet. So that will be a very, very tough bot lane, and then
Sona
Shyvana.
and Shyvana. So
that's rough.
They've got to be pretty happy with their comp right now. TCM probably going to be going with more of the same. They do have Morgana. They're picking up Skarner here, it seems. So that could potentially work out for them. My only concern, though, is Fnatic, if they amp up this early game aggression, Sona will give them great team fight control. If TCM has a heavy melee comp or has a heavy engaged comp, then Sona will have that great ult in order to just control those fights. So lots of AoE damage from Fnatic so far. And if TCM doesn't get those early kills like they did last game, then maybe Fnatic comes into these mid-game fights a little bit more prepared.
So Corki being picked up over by TCM, we could definitely use some more of that burst down bot lane, get some big missiles going on. Skarner will also get picked. So I'm wondering if Fnatic is going to go ahead and grab a Gangplank again to try and do something, one less Skarner ult target.
Yeah, I definitely think Gangplank was one of the strengths of their team, game 1 and 2. So they could stick with that and still have a pretty aggressive team. And then they can actually save. They've got the last pick, so they can save their last pick for the counter pick. And right now, I would probably pick out my DPS. Might be expecting a Vayne. They could go with who did they have last time? Man, Graves. Actually, Graves is a very strong pick.
Yeah.
I was going to say Corki was a good pick for TCM because against Sona is very aggressive. Corki is one of the strongest early game DPS in the game. Does have great nukes early, but Graves with the passive will be very safe there, and actually a Kennen pick by Fnatic. So we'll give them a huge team fight advantage. They will have lots of AoE, some good disables for those team fight control. And then saving their top lane actually for last pick, which is a little bit surprising to me. I thought they could have picked the Gangplank, but are actually going to hold on to it. Because I guess Riven does do very well against Gangplank, and that would be the concern.
Yeah, and TCM, I think we're going to take the Gangplank out from under the feet of Fnatic. And here's the thing, Fnatic still, I'm not sure if they're going to be running Shyvana jungle or top. So it gives them that sort of flexibility to change up depending on TCM's last 2 picks.
Mm-hmm. I would kind of prefer to see Shyvana top. I don't know whether or not XPK likes playing her that way. We have seen a number of Shyvanas top, like you were saying. And yeah, it will be a very strong lane. Shyvana will do very well against Gangplank. He just doesn't have enough early harass if Shyvana goes with Cloth and the health pots. But then that would allow them to pick a more aggressive jungler as their last pick, and that was one of their weaknesses. They had, pretty good counter jungling capabilities, but they didn't have good ganking strength, and because they fell behind early, Shyvana really wasn't able to accomplish a whole lot in that game because she couldn't gank lanes and she couldn't be that aggressive with counter jungling because they were behind.
Yeah, Fnatic, I feel right now, just with their first 4 picks, like their only huge, real engagement opportunity is a Sona ult. So whoever is the last pick on Fnatic, we need something good for initiation. Like, granted, Kennen ult is good for initiation, but by flashing in, by getting in the thick of everyone, putting himself at risk. So we need, I think, something a little bit more safe on the defensive end for Fnatic for their last pick.
Yeah, I would probably like to see a Lee Sin actually right now. Cassiopeia actually, so they could run Kennen top and then Cassiopeia mid, and that would definitely be a very strong team for them. So they could actually exchange the aggressive jungler for having more aggressive lanes, which I am definitely a big fan of. Cassiopeia, one of the strongest champions in the game. We haven't seen her these first 2 games, which is actually, now that I look back, a little bit surprising.
Yeah, this is a little strange. Because we had the Galio mid, we've had the Gangplank mid, kind of crazy.
And Cassiopeia, does very well in all facets of the game. She will do well against Morgana. Morgana's a very defensive lane, so Cassiopeia should be fine with just farming up in that lane. But Cassiopeia actually does beat Morgana in that lane. She can get off some nice harass with her range Qs, and then she provides them with great objective control, which is what we saw out of Fnatic of Game 1. They will, Kennen and Cassiopeia coming in with Shyvana to steal those blue buffs of TCM, that's going to be pretty difficult for them to respond to. That'll be a really strong play. And then we do have, Cassiopeia's control over Dragon. She can clear Dragon faster than almost anyone in the game. I'm not sure which one we're doing. Let me see if I have any of these guys on.
But yeah, Cassiopeia and Shyvana together, that's a pretty huge combo, especially for something like taking down Dragon relatively quickly.
Oh, okay, we are moving into here.
So yeah, I think Fnatic is definitely in a position for just good Dragon control.
Yeah, and they do have a stronger bot lane as well. Right now they should have the advantage in every single lane of this game, and Soraka and Corki will be fine bot. They will farm very well bottom. They shouldn't have that much difficulty holding their lane. However, it's a pretty defensive lane, and so Graves and Sona with that very offensive lane, if they can push him up to the tower, go after the dragon, and then what is Soraka going to do in a team fight around dragon? She's going to walk up and be like, okay, I healed someone, now let me back off a second here. So not really the best dragon control, which could be huge. I think Fnatic should be able to pick up all of the early dragons in this game and use those early dragons for the advantage into mid game.
Yeah, I think also TCM and Soraka, fantastic pick. I mean, they needed the silence already as is. Shut down Sona, prevent her from ulting.
Yeah.
Shut down Kennen, prevent him from ulting. But now they also have Cassiopeia to deal with. And all of a sudden, when you have one silence and 3 fantastic targets to silence, you're going to be missing out on shutting down 2 characters. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a little bit rough for TCM to really do any hard initiation on Fnatic.
And I probably would have picked Janna over Soraka. Soraka is definitely a very strong champion. Does help them not lose that very aggressive lane. Unfortunately, the first 2 picks for TCM were kind of very aggressive picks, looking to pick people off. We did see them, looking to be very aggressive in team fights last game. Well, Fnatic should hands down win all of these early team fights. So it's really going to come down to map control and whether or not Skarner and Morgana can be effective. But if Fnatic can first force the early fights, then the Soraka pick, it's going to be difficult for them to win these fights. I mean, Cassiopeia, Sona, Shyvana, Kennen, that's huge AoE damage, huge team fight potential, along with the AoE damage of Graves. And, Morgana's going to run into him, going to get bursted down. Skarner, he's going to run in, try and pull someone, he's going to get bursted down. It's going to be difficult for them. So what their TCM is going to be trying to do is let the laning phase last as long as possible and try and be very aggressive early, see if they can pick people off. But the concern there is Skarner isn't very effective as a ganker until level 6. So
yeah.
We'll see if they can pick people off early, then they definitely have a huge potential. But if Fnatic can force those early fights, then Fnatic could potentially run away with this.
Yep. I think I would have preferred an Alistar instead of a Soraka for TCM. If anything, just for Kennen. Because Kennen pops the ult, Alistar can just headbutt him away. And even then, you get that extra aggression bot lane. If you manage to catch anyone out of position, Alistar comes in, flash pulverize, and Corki is pretty bursty. You can kill someone just with that combo.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. And, it does combo well with Skarner, having a very aggressive bot lane with an aggressive, kind of ganking jungler, like you said.
Yep.
But I feel like I'm looking at these team comps, and Fnatic is just like, hey, gloves are off.
Yep.
We get it. You handled us last game, and TCM definitely played a really impressive match and was able to take control early and just completely dominate Fnatic in game number 2.
Yep.
And it looks to me like Fnatic's like, okay, we see your 4 aces. We're gonna raise you a royal flush here. So
so this is it. Game number 3, Fnatic versus TCM. Winner moves on to round of 8 in the IPL4 qualifiers. We're going to commercial. We'll see you guys in a minute. We are back. These are the IPL4 qualifiers. This is round of 16, Fnatic versus TCM. We are going the distance. This is game number 3. It is 1-1. Whoever wins this will move on to the round of 8 and face the winner of Reflex versus Curse. But for now, this is it. This is crunch time. Fnatic, the gloves are off. TCM looking to prove themselves. This is crazy. We have Fnatic, a 3rd seed, versus TCM, our 14th seed. Both EU teams, both fantastic players. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, we did just mention earlier that TCM is actually, they were Enemy Rampage, an EU team, and they are pretty new, but they were just picked up by TCM Gaming. And we actually have, oh my gosh, Fnatic, Lamia getting picked off.
Ooh, this is like game 1, but just the complete opposite. Wow.
And just walking out into the shadows, that's hard.
That's rough. That is really rough. But so TCM, they've got their early advantage. That's all they need. They got their 400 gold, and now they can just do whatever they want.
Minions have
who ended up getting that kill? That was Morgana.
That was Morgana.
Oh man, she can just She'd probably just sell one of those health potions, just start out with a Doran's Ring if she really wants to.
Yeah, and I was actually about to say they're fortunate that it wasn't Corki that was able to pick up that kill, because Graves going with the Doran's Blade early, they know they have a very strong lane. He will have the heals from Sona to back him up, but the downside to the Doran's is that you don't have a lot of regen. So, you know, he would be at a slight disadvantage if Corki was able to recall, pick up a Doran's and a Boots. And Corki probably could have just dominated Graves in this lane if that were the case. But fortunately, it is not. So it should be interesting to see. All three of these lanes are pretty aggressive. So, you know, there's probably going to be a lot of early action.
Dude, both teams are hungry. They want to keep on going on in these brackets. This is a single elimination bracket these people are fighting in. If you lose one, you are out. Neither one of these teams wants to go home. Both of these teams, they want to keep on going on through that bracket, because remember, top four in this bracket moves on to IPL4 no matter what. It's just, you know, after that it's a matter of seeding. So whoever wins this, you just need to win one more and you are in. So right now everyone's just showing off their muster.
Yeah, and it's actually interesting to me, even with the first blood advantage, you know, Morgana hasn't gotten her items yet, but Cassiopeia being very aggressive early on, zoning Morgana to a small extent, you know, with her poison there, and Gangplank actually doing pretty well top against Kennen, even though Kennen is one of the stronger laners in the game. Gangplank just getting off those free parlays.
And right now, bottom lane, Sona. So this is our first Sona. She was banned in every match so far, but now finally get to see her coming out, and this is pre-nerf Sona. We are on Sejuani patch, so she does have all that extra damage available to her, and right now TCM getting a little aggressive, trying to push those lanes out, waiting for Skarner to finish up his business in the jungle. So top
wow,
lane.
Gangplank just, I'm surprised how much harass Xuxi is taking here. You know, has excellent range, a little bit of a range advantage over Gangplank,
okay.
you know, with both the auto attack and then also with the shurikens, but...
And fantastic ward coverage. Fantastic ward coverage from Inky, you know, getting the ward right into Tribush. Has gotten wise to how Sleazy is approaching lanes, preempted that, and backed off accordingly. Wonderful, wonderful ward placement. See, that's the thing, too. Like, if you manage to figure out the enemy jungler, if you manage to understand how they approach, where they come from, just fantastic ward placement can just shut them down completely. Yep. Especially, you know, Shyvana. Shyvana really needs to get a jump on someone because she has no CC. She has nothing on her. It's pure damage.
Yeah, but the disables that they have in both top and mid should allow her to potentially get in, which is why Gangplank,
yeah.
You know, was kind of smart in picking up the early ward for his lane.
But yeah,
Corki just doing an excellent job in this bottom lane. Does have a 1-level advantage because of the assist, and then able to pick up those mini golems down in blue. I'm a little bit surprised how much damage that Lamia is taking here, but it's really comes down to the Dorans versus the Boots and health pots, and Corki does have the regen advantage both with Soraka and then also with those health pots.
Sleazy needs to be focusing on ganking bot. Top is going to be rough because Gangplank's got oranges. Mid's going to be rough because Morgana's got the shield. Bot would be the best option, and all the lanes are just backing off accordingly. So I'm really hoping Sleazy's going to be paying more attention bot, because right now TCM is just pushing like something I should not be saying on air.
I would probably expect, though, that Sleazy is probably not going to focus that much on ganking, but actually Valek's doing a lot of damage to Lamia. Lamia just walking up into that damage.
Heal.
I'm a little bit surprised. There's the heal, so able to back out of there. But I was going to say, they don't, you know, it is going to be difficult for them to kind of pick people off generally, like you said. And even Corki and Soraka is, you know, pretty safe lanes. So they'll probably just want to farm and be very safe, not allow, you know, either team to get any kills until we see, you know, those early dragon fights or maybe early, you know, fights over buffs. And actually, Skarner coming in here is going to be able to get in Xuxi, but Xuxi will have his lightning surge, so he should be able to get out of there okay.
And coming in, Skarner comes in. He is not 6, does not have the ult. If he did, that could have been a completely different story. But Shyvana now, the bush has been rewarded. They know Sleazy's nearby, and Sleazy's now just has really no choice but to just go back and killing the jungle creeps.
And I did check earlier, this is AP Kennen, so
Okay.
no surprises there. Kennen actually scaring Gangplank a little bit. He thought that there might be an engage, even though Kennen hadn't hit 6, but there's always the potential that you have a fast level up. So he threw off the ultimate kind of defensively there, will allow him to get out of lane.
Yeah, it was a good call. It was a good call. Better, better safe than sorry, always. I mean, TCM has already gotten the lead. They had the first blood. They're up 1K. They don't want to be giving anything up at this point right now. They want to be as safe as they can and not give up anything for free.
Well, and Corki already doing well bot lane, has 3 Dorans, so that is going to scale very well with his Gatling. Let me see how is he leveling. He's level 1, so generally speaking, you'll level your Phosphorus Bomb first, gives you a nice little nuke.
Fnatic getting a little bit aggressive. XPK is poking in. They CB blue earlier. Morgana gets the binding off, just trying to fend off Fnatic from stealing their blue. Skarner does get it. He is not 6 yet. He doesn't have his pull. He doesn't have his leash, but and Morgana has to flash in, gets the ult in on Cassiopeia. All the meanwhile, Kennen comes in with the flash and the ult. Not doing a whole lot with it. Morgana misses the binding, and Gangplank is now in chase of Kennen and Shyvana. One more parlay could have done it, but Gun takes a little bit while to reload.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like Fnatic forced that a little bit too much. They wanted to be really aggressive with the counter jungling, but they were at a disadvantage there, so that almost turned really bad for them. At the same time, Kennen came in. One thing we've seen from Fnatic a lot of times is that they were able to stall out enemy returns, and we saw it with the Baron last game, that when they were able to take it, they were just able to stall out.
Kennen top lane has not backed. You're still ridiculously low on health. Staying in lane for any much longer than this, even going back to lane in a state such as that, is really risky. So
she does have her Hex Tech though, so she should be pretty good in sustain there. Gangplank, if he gets this Wriggles, it will be difficult for Kennen to out damage the Wriggles, of course.
Yeah.
But they probably are going to be looking to be more aggressive at buffs and Dragon, like we said. So weren't able to work it out there, but we'll probably see them moving around as a team a lot more from now on.
So I think we're going to get, right now, Fnatic is pinging on their blue. I believe they're just going to go ahead and give it to Cassiopeia, next opportunity. And I think we may have a switch. We may have Kennen going mid.
And they are coming down for this Dragon. That's one of the things that they are excellent at. Kennen did come mid, so they will have the team fight advantage. And then Cassiopeia, she has the blue buff, so she'll be able to take down that Dragon very quickly. They should be pretty confident here because they do have an advantage. It's a 5v3, and they should be able to take Dragon fairly easily.
Yeah, Morgana just happened to be back at shop when Fnatic went in for this Dragon. But I think Farfane is trying to get in. He does not have Smite up. He can't steal it. Just trying to impose his will and kill some time, waiting for Morgana to come in. Here she is. And we got the pull going off on Sona. She's going to be dead real quick. The binding perfect. And Cassiopeia ult getting 3 members of TCM, but it's only delaying the inevitable. Kind of comes in with the ult. He gets into the dash, but Morgana gets the ult off. Kennen goes down to the Morgana ult, and now Shyvana is bound. One more shot from Corki would take her down, and Cassiopeia is in chase right now for Soraka. Soraka may be able to get away. Missile from Corki, finishing the job.
I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Wow.
Here, because TCM is now up 5-0.
They're getting the Dragon.
Fnatic just lost a 5v4 at Dragon, and they have far and away the superior team fight team. But the issue was Graves and Sona were kind of cut off down here, couldn't get back to him, and Sona just too hesitant to flash, allowed herself to get picked off, really needed to just flash over this wall or just walk around. Take your time to walk the long way around. And so Fnatic, they had a 5v3 at Dragon, but they kind of took too long with it. They were a little bit too hesitant, and the result was that TCM was able to come back and win a huge fight. We saw Fnatic, when they finally did try and engage, it was kind of haphazard, and then Morgana's ultimate just completely shut down what Fnatic was trying to do. So a 5k gold advantage already in this game for TCM.
Fnatic's main initiation tool is the Sona ult. And you know what? You can't use it if you're dead. And Cassiopeia had to use her ult defensively to try and, rally the rest of Fnatic, come in and finish a job, but everyone was just too spread apart. And right now Gangplank is still imposing his will on Kennen top lane. Such aggressive play coming out from TCM. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and because Inky here had been doing so well early in the game, and then Kennen had to go bottom for that dragon, he's got a 2-level advantage. So he's going to be winning that lane. I mean, everything is just working out for TCM right now. And we kind of said that, you know, if they were able to get some early, you know, fights in, that it would definitely help them out because they definitely have a really aggressive team. But Fnatic, I feel like, should have the advantage in this game right now. And TCM just, you know, proving me wrong.
If TCM continues to just pick out Sona and Cassiopeia, taking out the main methods of initiation for Fnatic, TCM can absolutely take this. They have a fantastic lead already, 12 minutes in. They're up 5 kills. They're up 5K. It's as long as they don't have any major screw-ups, someone getting caught out of position or missing a major objective like the next dragon, TCM should be able to ride this for a while. And just right now, I also want to thank all 10,000 of you watching at home. Thank you for tuning in today. These are our IPL4 qualifiers, round of 16, Fnatic versus TCM. This is game 3. Winner here moves on to round of 8. And later on today, we have Absolute Legends and Mono Esports. So do please tune in later today for that.
I still can't believe, I mean, game 1, we saw Fnatic absolutely dominate TCM. I mean, they had an 8K gold advantage at like 15 minutes into the game, and they were just pushing, taking all the dragons, taking all the buffs. Game number 2, you know, Fnatic kind of stayed with more of the same. TCM had a more aggressive team early on and was able to take that game pretty handily. And now game number 3, you know, Fnatic coming out with a very strong comp. TCM, you know, still a strong comp as well, but TCM really just going to work here. We see Corki, you know, 30K gold ahead of Graves in this bot lane to go along with the kills that they're picking up as a team, to go along with the dragon. So
amazing, amazing, amazing play from TCM right now. They're just now imposing their will, making Fnatic do what they want them to do.
And there's the issue with, you know, the Soraka combo, Corki combo in this bottom lane. Graves and Sona should have had a harass advantage early on, I feel. It is a pretty even lane. It wasn't a significant advantage, but Corki able to get that early assist and doing very well. But once Corki gets the advantage over Graves, just the sustain that Soraka gives him, just able to spam out all of his nukes, is a very effective combo. All that, you know, the mana regen and everything. So it is difficult for Graves and Sona to get back in once they've kind of fallen behind in that lane, and that's what we're seeing now from all 3 lanes of Fnatic. You know, Shushay still was kind of up on Morgana mid. That is actually a pretty even lane, but Morgana 3-0 and 2 right now, so it's going to be hard for Fnatic to recruit. They still have a really strong team fight team through this mid game, so if they can, you know, hold off and try and catch back up, one good fight could bring them even. And you know, we'll have to, I guess, watch for that.
Fnatic, if they get off just a very convincing ace, would be nice. But right now, Cassiopeia running the wrong way. XPK, you are running the wrong way. You should have gone, and she's going to get cornered right there in the river. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and it's poor ward control from Fnatic. We saw all 3 games, they haven't really been, you know, spending a lot on wards. It was working out okay for them earlier when they were being aggressive, but she didn't realize that Gangplank was coming down. So Skarner, her safest route to escape from Skarner.
Sona's low.
Oh, Graves is going to go down.
Sona recalled, and Graves will just get dove on at his own tower. He pops off his heal preemptively, knowing it's coming, and the Skarner pull is just enough damage to do it. And right now, Shyvana is trying to tack on as much damage as she can, but Summoner Heal going off on Corki will keep them all topped off, and they will take this bottom tower.
Yeah, and that's, you know, extending the advantage, which is what TCM wants to do. And some teams, they kind of allow the game to go on too long. It's really indicative of a strong team that you know, really aggressively push and whatnot. So we'll see. They'll probably, you know, this next dragon should be coming up shortly, probably in the next minute.
Shyvana,
so we'll probably see them, you know, working their way towards there.
Shyvana and Sona going down, getting their wards down. But they do not realize that their own blue is pink warded. So TCM does have a pretty good inkling on where Fnatic is right now. And I still think Graves using that summoner heal during that last fight was a bit of a waste. It was a 3v1. He was not living from that. He could have saved that. He could have held on to it.
One thing that will definitely help out Fnatic, though, is Kennen is working towards that Zhonya's, and if Kennen can get that Zhonya's, it will kind of counter out Morgana to a degree, and they will have excellent fight control. The big thing for Fnatic is to try and keep the fight in front of them. So they're actually going for this dragon. They will kill it very quickly. It's whether or not TCM can get in, and Fnatic definitely kind of out of position here. They are able to get the dragon, so if they can get out of here, they'll be okay. Shyvana jumping in. Now Kennen coming in, Sleazy Weezy, and Morgana, actually, we have Skarner picking off Melisson there. He's going to go down. Morgana going to be able to pick off Lamia, and this is a huge fight for TCM. They lost the dragon, but then completely routing Fnatic here. We have Shushay flashing away, but Corki is going to be able to chase him down with that red buff, and now Cassiopeia is trapped. There's no tower to protect him. They are going to be able to get that, and that's going to be a 5-for-0 exchange for TCM. If they can finally chase him down, they should be able to. There's the snare.
Binding. Ace.
Wow.
TCM dominant. Absolutely dominant here in Game 3. Wow.
And we saw Fnatic, because they can kill dragons so quickly, trying to really aggressively take that dragon, but completely backfiring against them. Does Skarner have Shirelli? Skarner, the early Shirellias, once again allowed his team to engage. And, Fnatic just caught out of position, goes down, and this is TCM's game to lose. It's going to be almost impossible for Fnatic to come back right now, bar a serious mistake from TCM.
That was a fantastic Shirelia's pop and initiation from Skarner. The only like real issue apart from that was that Skarner popping the ult on Sona actually dragged her out of Morgana's ultimate. So it was a little bit wasted time, doing the rest of the damage that they needed to kill her off, but still fantastic work from TCM.
And it's wild to me. Like, we come into this game and it's like, yeah, TCM was picked up by TC Gaming, so TCM Gaming, so they're probably a pretty solid team. We had all the teams in our qualifiers, had some kind of repertoire to them. They had some, excellent tournament experience, whether it's Go for LOL or whatnot. So we knew that they were probably a solid team, but to see them coming out and just dominating Fnatic in this manner is just absolutely surprising to me. And Kennen getting picked off by Morgana over here. I'm a little bit surprised how that happened, because Kennen's generally one of the safest champs in the game with that lightning rush.
Yep. Once again, TCM in our brackets were seeded 14th, and Fnatic seeded 3rd. They're actually one of the top 5 teams in the world. Fantastic work from TCM. Wonderful to see the new blood in competitive LoL. You got to be feeling good right now. They have to be. That's the thing, though. Like, they're on tilt. Like, they're so excited right now. They're up 13-0. There's not a whole lot they can do to try to really screw this up. If they get aced twice, Fnatic can come back into this. But that, it's the possibility of that happening, slim to none. But it's still going to be a slow crawl for TCM to go in and get in those inhibitors. So right now they're going to be looking towards getting Baron. Once they have that buff, they can just go ahead and push as far as they need to try and end this. So, I mean, they're winning by a huge margin, but we still have a while until the end of this game.
And the big thing for Fnatic is to try and keep them in front of them. And they haven't had, a single good fight yet. And actually, Shushay getting picked off. He throws off the lightning rush, but Morgana's coming in here. And Fnatic doing pretty well, but Shushay is going to go down. We do have the Zhonya's from Janitin, but he's going to go down. And then Skarner pulling out Sleazy Weezy. So that's another kill for TCM, but TCM's got it back now. Skarner could probably pick up Melisson, but he's not going to be able to. Cassiopeia going down to Corki here. One more attack. And Corki has that red buff, so another heal from Soraka will allow him to turn, and Graves is going to go down. So it looked like Fnatic might have had that fight for a second. But once again, another one-team fight for TCM.
Fnatic had no choice but to engage on that. And there's the surrender from Fnatic.
Amazing.
TCM moving on to round of 8 and a massive upset.
I'm so blown away right now.
Wow. That is huge. We've had 2 major upsets in round of 16 already. TCM beats out 3rd seed Fnatic. V8 has beat out 5th seed Cypher.
And
what is going on in this world?
That's really...
What's going on?
the big thing of this tournament is that we had 32 teams
Wow.
that I felt like all of the teams were capable of taking down top teams. And we have everyone in this tournament. We have Moscow 5. We have, Curse, one of the top teams in North America right now. The top 4 from IPL4, they already got free invites. But, we have all of the all of the EU giants. And here we have Fnatic dropping to TCM.
Wow.
The winner of this is actually, they're going to be playing an awesome match too, because they're going up against the winner of Curse
And Reflex.
versus Reflex. So Curse versus Reflex, those are 2 top American teams.
Yeah.
And TCM, wielding their might to a degree there, should be a pretty exciting matchup.
And and I saw a lot of people looking at these brackets earlier on, expecting nothing but Euro teams to emerge, and we see again we saw V8
Mm-hmm.
taking down Scythe. Wow, this is crazy.